Hello everybody and welcome back to the funniest tweets. We're in the penultimate race of the season and I thought this episode was going to be just literally going to be littered with sleeping memes. That's the only thing I thought we were going to have to talk about halfway through the race. Then the FIA went, fancy a little bit of chaos. Do you fancy a bit of chaos, Jim? What about you, Dave? Yeah? Should we just leave that wing mirror out on track? Perfect. All right, let's see what happens. And that's what they did. Oh, Williams. Yeah, I had to include something else other than just the FIA. And I thought, what better than to share some Williams stuff? Because, of course, they both had incidents that weren't their fault during the Qatar Grand Prix. And they both were involved in what feels like the 900th incident of the year for them. At Agent 7x200, Williams Mechanics. You're invited to suffer. I'm praying for them that the season just ends. And let's just have in Abu Dhabi the calmest, cleanest race for Williams. Just P19, P20. Just roll around, do a Checo Perez in the sprint. Just do a practice session for next year. Don't get involved in anything. There's no point. There's literally no point. Williams, you're not, unless you get a 1-2, you're not going to get any higher in the constructors. Let's just have a chill one. At 0 Hedgehog 96, once again, Williams has a car to repair. And yeah, they are very tired. It's interesting, isn't it, that despite getting rid of Logan Sargent, we've had more crashes. Of course, Logie Bear was involved in some of those, most of those during the Destructors Championship tally that they were building throughout most of the season. But Colapinto has also been involved in his crashes, his fair share in the last few weekends. And they can't afford to do that. If Williams want to move forward as a team, they need to be spending money on developing the car for future, not rebuilding the current car they have. So it's not only affecting them at weekends like this one just gone, where Colapinto was literally what seems like driving a car that was just stuck together with bits of glue, but they're also spending money that they should be putting into R&D. At Jade75, live footage from the Williams garage. Oh dear. And then this final one, because we are going to move on from Williams. At Minoru79, the Williams car for the last race of the season, and that's Lego. That is Lego. Oh dear. I mean, I guess the one small saving grace is that the Williams cars weren't destroyed in Qatar. They didn't seem to have massive damage, so take that as a W. FIA Clown Show. Now, this is what you're all tuning in for. Let's be real here. And my goodness me, did you guys come in your thousands with reactions to this particular, is it incident? Is it just complete and just like a whole series of ridiculous moments from both Saturday and Sunday? Yeah. Let's start with at Seaweed 17. Potentially race-ending debris on track. I sleep. Max going a bit slow on an outlap, impeding absolutely nobody. Penalty. That was, as you might have seen in the podcast, we both completely, aggressively defended Max Verstappen in that weird one-place penalty decision. Utterly ridiculous. And then on the flip side of that, the FIA are, you get a penalty, you get a penalty, you get a penalty. But they themselves were so inconsistent this weekend. The one thing obviously was Lando Norris's penalty, which I know a lot of people were angry about. It felt too much. But if you look at previous incidents of drivers speeding in double waved yellows, they got a 10-second stop and go penalty. Nikita Mazepin back in 2021, I believe it was. And you look back, that is the penalty you get. So I do get the frustration of wow, that feels really harsh. But at the same time, in a weird way, that was maybe one of the only consistent things that the FIA did. At Milkshake5303, Matt and Tommy going to X after the punctures. I love the serious faces. This is, of course, when we're live on Twitch for our watch-alongs, Matt P1 Tommy. But you can see both of our faces of I'm going to tweet about the FIA. And this is a beautiful depiction of us popping off midstream and wanting to share our opinions on Twitter. So that's a lovely little capture there from you, David. Well done. At Edua Casanagawa, I definitely have butchered that. They are not prepared for what I'm about to cook with the help of this little mirror. I actually love this gif. Because, of course, that was when Bottas did an Uber Eats advert, I think it was. And it went obviously very viral because Bottas in this exact video was just being an absolute hero. But I love that there's a shot of him looking into a wing mirror. That is perfect. At throttle_not_B, race director, send out a safety car VSC so the mirror can be picked up, or just leave it on track and hope for the best. I am still awaiting, and the FIA said they were going to explain their decisions. Are we going to get that? Are we actually really going to get that? Are we going to also receive a detailed explanation of some ridiculous... I mean, to be fair, they've already explained the one-place penalty for Max Verstappen, which I think is a load of rubbish. But the explanation I need is that wing mirror. There is no reason I can think of to not have pressed a button to neutralise the race to get rid of the wing mirror. There isn't one. Can you tell me one? If you can, comment right now. And I know you'll probably be like British bias because it would affect George Russell's race because he was the only one who pitted and the FIA were clearly on his side in Qatar because they gave him, pole position. But actually, like I say a realistic one that is the only one that even a tiny bit adds up. So yeah, let me know. At Rainer_0V. The FIA making decisions. And sometimes they miss the board completely. So... are we surprised with the amount of internal chaos that's going on in the FIA? You've got flipping Mohammed Ben Sulayem just putting his middle fingers up to everybody, being like, the drivers, it's none of their business, they do their job, I'll do mine. And it's just... I don't know if he's trying to put on a show and trying to put on this big figurehead of, yeah, I'm powerful, I will make the decisions, and kind of come across like... I don't know, a dictatorship or something. It's an utterly bizarre thing because, in my mind, the FIA and Formula One and the drivers should work together in harmony. It shouldn't be a battle between one and the other because that's just going to cause... I mean, it's completely separate to the decisions that actually make... Well, kind of. Although, to be fair, the race direction is the FIA and their hirings and, yeah, maybe a little bit dripped down with all this chaos going on between the drivers as well. But, yeah... 2025, which promises to be an excellent year for competition, we need the referees to get it together. At VT_Haddy, FIA cooking everyone tonight. They really did, didn't they? The first half of the race was obviously a bit of it was a large snooze, right? We had the slight interest of Norris and Verstappen, and will Lando mount a charge, and we had that for sure. But we didn't get many overtakes. There's one overtaking spot around Qatar, and it's very much a track of really cool to watch in qualifying, not so cool to watch in the race, just purely because there's one overtaking spot. And then, that's over, we'll wait till the next lap. But then the FIA in the second half of the race just went penalty everywhere. Maybe their Windows 98 computer wasn't working until the second half. You never know, because Oscar Piastri did that thing where he attacked the pit entry on the practice runs to the grid. That was noted and not even looked at until after the race. What are they doing? It was half an hour before the race even begun. Look at it. Oh, that wasn't great. Warning. Done. Dusted. See you later. At Joe Goat 6p, FIA making up the rules mid-race. This clearly is some kind of AI-generated image that's going on here. Some things don't make particular sense, but also, there's literally a man flying in the background. So, is it that far away? I love that they've got literally a Formula One car in their office as well. Maybe they're pointing to things going, so that's the front wing, right? Okay, cool. These are the wheels. So, yeah, probably not far away from what went on during that Grand Prix. At James Sabella, so let me get this straight. The FIA won't call for a safety car with debris on the track for 4 laps that could have put drivers at risk, but will ruin another driver's race because he didn't lift by the damaged wing mirror they refused to send the safety car out for. Yes, that's exactly correct. The incident itself was a penalty for Lando. He didn't lift, and it was the same as other incidents in the past. But also, I completely agree with you, James, that whole scenario should not have existed full stop anyway. None of that should have happened. VSC, everyone pits. George Russell's the only one that really gets truly screwed over. because everyone else will pit, save some time. And to be fair, the VSC could have been thrown, and within about 30 seconds, they could have picked that up and gone. So maybe even not that many pit stops would have... But either way, that's not even... If they're thinking about changing the race, why are they scared? This is a safety matter. Calm, Matt. Stay calm. At Victor Tappic, the FIA right now, just slow. Just so slow. Why are they so slow? It feels like an archaic structure. It doesn't make sense. We're in 2024. We've got all the technology in the world to assess things. We've got cameras that have existed for many years. What are the FIA watching? Are they watching a transcript of the live commentary? Even then, I'm pretty sure they mentioned the wing mirror. Do they have electricity? At Iturco 11, FIA when there's debris on the racing line. You get a puncture, you get a puncture, you get a puncture. This is it, right? Even then, we saw Sainz and Hamilton both get punctures. I don't know where the safety car button is, mate. Where's the safety car button? Do we need a safety car, really? It was only 2 punctures and a destroyed wing mirror with debris everywhere on 35-lap-old mediums. Go on then. Try and find it. Let's get burnt out there. You know, he's not really driven that much this season. Ridiculous. And finally, at Ainsley Ferron, FIA safety car timing, Lewis Hamilton. Oh, that's a good use of the meme. Yeah, because Hamilton and Sainz both got completely screwed by that. Hamilton maybe slightly more so, but Sainz literally had to do an entire lap with a puncture. So just not fair, really, was it? Just absolutely not fair for those drivers to not be treated to a level of respect from the FIA and just concern for their well-being and safety. I don't know, just... Okay, we need to move on from the FIA. Honourable mentions. At Mr. Idiot, welcome back GP2 Engine. Yes, Fernando Alonso giving those GP2 Engine vibe team radios. If you're not aware, Alonso, when he was at McLaren Honda a few years back, he was very much complaining about the straight line speed of said Honda engine and likened it to a GP2 engine. GP2, he said. And it's funny that he was mentioning about this and then it came up with a graphic that said Alonso was the fastest in the speed trap. But he was saying that it's more about the deployment of the energy was not right and it just was kept thinking it was in safety car mode or something. So either or, in one, 10% of me is like, oh, that's quite funny, GP2 engine, team radio vibes, but also the other 90 is saying, can we just give Fernando Alonso a great car before he eventually just goes, you know what, I'm sick of F1, I don't want to do it anymore. At Tealdrew, Max lining up his car on the start. He was so aggressively turned towards George Russell, but are we surprised? He was ready to send it down the inside no matter what. And that's what he did. Got a slightly better start, took the lead, and negated a ridiculous penalty. So well done, Max. That was truly, truly special from him to just do it on the track, even though it wasn't fair from the FIA, in my opinion. At Karen_Rec, Qatar GP be like. It's Rainbow Road. That's Zhou Guan Yu upside down. Lando as well upside down. Gasly just on the cloud there. That's impressive. And then, yeah, the top three. I love that Oscar picture so much. George Russell, the T-pose. A chaotic picture. I love it, Karen. At Nell_Megan. Predict Perez double points. Well, multiple points. Safety car puts him in 5th. Perez spins in DNFs. Anyone watching that watch along that we were doing? I celebrated that Perez was up in 5th, going to score me 10 points. Didn't need that many for the predictions. 30 seconds later, all the way down the leaderboard. And also, it's not fully confirmed, but what I've seen is that I say it's not fully confirmed. I mean, Helmut Marko's basically come out and said that Perez had burnt the clutch. Perez said there was an over-delivery from the engine. Is that a sort of coated way of saying I pressed the accelerator too much? Because I did kind of suggest that in the podcast and thought, no way has Perez just lost it under the safety car. But things I'm now reading suggest that might have been the case. Oh no. At Canada Plays 48. For those of you that didn't see this, Yuki Tsunoda misheard mirror on the track with beaver from his team radio engineer. And this is a great little meme of a beaver parachuting onto the Qatar track. Yuki Tsunoda does produce some absolute golden moments, and this is certainly one of them. It's now time for Tommy's Tasty Tweets. Tommy, how tasty is this tweet? Your name is also Tommy, so that makes perfect sense. You're wearing the Frank top, and I'm chatting absolute rubbish. The end of the season, how are you feeling? What's your name? Where are you from? And tell us the tweet.
My name's Tommy, and here's my tastiest tweet. It's from Skitto9, and it's this brilliant meme. I always love ones that make little jokes about our podcast and things like that. And the fact that it's your downfall in the predictions as well makes it even sweeter. So, good times.
I'm glad you're enjoying my downfall, Tommy. It's really, really quite lovely. Let's see if karma hits in Abu Dhabi when we go for the predictions there. Biggest flop coming in. I'm feeling good for that one. But yeah, thank you, Tommy, and well done. You win a copy of F1 24, and we will see you for the final Tommy's Tasty Tweet in Abu Dhabi. Bye, Tommy's Tasty Tweet.
Goodbye.
Right, that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in to the funniest tweets for the Qatar Grand Prix. Now, I am going to say something with regards to this series, and that is that Abu Dhabi, the last race of the season, will be the last episode of this funniest tweets series. Yet we're thinking of just changing things up a little bit on the YouTube channel. So unless this gets like a ridiculous, overwhelming, like, please don't go, oh my God, my life would never be the same. We're making the decision to put this series away. I've been talking about memes for a very long time. So yeah, just to let you know that the final episode will be the final episode. But also we listen to you guys, right? So if you are genuinely going to be devastated this series doesn't exist anymore, then let us know. And look, we're part of a P1 fam, right? It's not just me and Tommy making decisions like the FIA, and that's what goes. But yeah, that's the thinking we're having at the moment. So let us know. And yeah, thank you for getting involved as always. Hashtag P1 if you want to get involved in potentially the final last ever episode of Funniest Tweets. And we'll see you there. We'll be doing it probably, I'll record it somewhere in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, depending. No, it'll probably be in Abu Dhabi. So yeah, look forward to that. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.